So we had a discussion last week, maybe it was a week, 2 weeks ago, about the question of the transportation bill. And I'm just wondering what the status of that is in this session. Transportation bill, who wants to take a run at that?
Well, they keep announcing that they're sitting down and they're close, but absolutely nothing ever changes.
No puff of white smoke? Is there
No puff of white smoke.
I'm going to guess. Because the issue is there going to be new revenue? And that is gas tax for roads and bridges and sales tax for public mass transit. I absolutely do not believe, I'm in the minority in the House, and I listen carefully. I just do not believe that the House majority will be agreeing to a tax increase of any sort this year. And especially, this is an election year. Right. One of your caucus was just denied endorsement a week or so ago, and somebody else was endorsed because they said he spent too much money. And I see him as a very conservative member of your caucus, so there's a lot of pressure. I'm assuming that.
Well, I can certainly say that I'm not in favor of any tax increases. So you're right. For me personally, I won't speak on behalf of the whole caucus. I'm sure that leadership is appreciative that I don't do that right now. But I know that there is general sentiment with that. I do think that we all have our theories as to which way transportation is going to go, but I think we could also agree that we really don't know for sure. We're starting to see a little bit of a form there. My concern that I've told people in my district time and again is whatever the transportation bill ends up being, I want to make sure that there is real money getting the roads and bridges pushed out into greater Minnesota. That's what I represent. And we have outside of Trunk Highway, we have local roads, we have in-town roads. There was a bill that the House did last year for towns under 5,000 receiving some money. Those are the things that I'm getting from the people in my district that they want to see. So I will be very accepting of a bill that shows real money when that happens. If I see a bill and I look at the runs and the money really didn't go to where we talked about and what I emphasized, then I'm going to have a very serious problem with that bill.
And so I accepted that a long time ago, that there would not be tax increases. And so I've had a plan B from day one. I always write my own spreadsheets because that's the only way I can. In the minority, you can't give up. You still have to advocate. And a bonding bill does require us to work together because it requires a supermajority. So for some time, I've had two spreadsheets. I have the traditional bonding bill that funds higher education and wastewater infrastructure and corrections and everything else. And then I pulled all of transportation into a cash bill where we use the one-time money that we talked about earlier. Sure. And so we do transportation this year with cash, and that would be rail safety crossings and airports and roads and bridges and public mass transit. So that would be a plan B when all else fails, because I don't think we can leave this session without having attended to infrastructure. Everyone all across the state is in our offices on almost a daily basis talking about the whole broad spectrum, whether it's wastewater infrastructure or transportation. And higher education we haven't even talked about yet tonight. But so that's my plan B, traditional bonding bill for everything else and cash for transportation.
Yeah. Seems like from what I hear, and all you know is what you hear, may or may not be worth a lot, but that we've got the divide is roads and bridges and transit, and at least what I've heard at least is that there won't be a bill without an increased sales tax for transit, and I think that's probably going to be difficult for a lot of people. So I hope it doesn't get to that, but that's that's the little corner of the room that I've listened to and heard, and so. That may well be. I just hope we just don't get into those joggerheads.
And I hope we don't tie everything together in some sort of last-minute deal and don't do anything until the 11th hour, because that's when mistakes happen. That's when work doesn't get done, and that's when two men go into an office and they are in there for hours, and we sit outside and don't know what they're talking about and if they will ever reach a deal. And that's a high-stakes game that I don't feel comfortable playing. So I just hope we do, work together early and often, and get those bills on the desk before the 11th.
And you and I are in agreement on that. Particularly, I believe I would really like to see what we're going to do in taxes. These are all working together. We know that they kind of are interchangeable with how we look at where the money is coming from. but I really would like to see a dedication of what we're going to do with transportation and taxes and how that addresses bonding perhaps, but then we get the bonding bill after that. But I couldn't agree with you more. Let's get this done sooner rather than later. I agree.
From what I understand, we've been here, 5 weeks, and the Transportation Conference Committee's had one meeting. It was sort of a cordiality meeting. They really got nothing going in terms of serious discussions. Senator Dibble, I think, said on the floor today, perhaps, that they were going to start getting more serious about the direction next week.
Well, and I think it's because of how bonding relates to it, how a tax bill, yes or no, whatever those are, how that relates to it. I think that's why it's
There's some crosshairs there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think the difficulty with this is, again, funding. I mean, with all of these things, Freeborn County, where Albert Lee is in the southern part of the state, the county engineer spoke to us. I don't know if any of you were at that One Minnesota conference where we get both parties and everyone together. And the county engineer was saying how she told the county board a few years ago, got to talk about de-paving roads because, we just don't have the money to do it. You just look at the budget and the county board goes over it and we can't unpave roads. And a couple months later, they said, put together a budget with this. And she said, okay, but these roads aren't going to be touched. And they came back and said, uh-oh. And I asked her afterwards, how much does it cost you? I mean, is it a lot cheaper to just let roads go to gravel and so on? And she says, well, I mean, obviously the cost of rebuilding the road's expensive, but the gravel, you have to put another inch of gravel down every year or two. And she said over a 20, 30-year period, it's much more expensive to gravel. But we don't have the money to do the urgent one, to fix the roads we have. And so we let them crumble and we have more expense later. The idea that we're going to take other money to pay for transportation rather than transportation revenues, that's great, except for the fact, what are we going to do about paying for the nursing homes? What are we going to pay for higher education? What are we going to do to pay for all these other expenses? So I think we're going to have to find a way, one, to try and prevent our problems, but two, to recognize that money doesn't grow on trees, and it may take, given the numbers the transportation experts, and I've never served on transportation committee, but the number of the experts are saying in terms of how much we need to maintain and take care of our infrastructure, sounds like we're going to have to find new revenue for that. And I don't see an easy answer this year. I'll agree with all of you. We got to do something this year, but I'm not hopeful.
One of the things I'm fighting terribly is there are some people, including the Transportation Alliance, who have begun to talk about using GO bonding in large numbers, 200 million for local roads, 200 million for local bridges, with GO bonding.
General obligation
bonding. So here's the deal for transportation. Transportation right now has the following funding streams coming to it: gas tax, license tax, motor vehicle sales tax, the county sales tax, property tax, wheelage tax, and federal funding. 7 streams of funding flow to transportation. And now the transportation advocates want to take another tool, general obligation bonding, and use that too. That's the only tool that all of the other state agencies have. That's all that higher ed has, and corrections and military affairs and veterans. So I have just been a broken record and resisting that. And in a sense, a lot of transportation advocates say we don't subsidize roads, but if we use general obligation bonding, that's all state taxpayers subsidizing roads. So that's the one funding stream I have been leading a solid argument against. It is, I don't know if I'm going to win it, but it makes me very nervous.
Anything else on transportation? We'll have a chance to discuss it, I think, in the weeks ahead.